Hey peace viewers and subscribers, I'm back again for another review. I got another product. I've been trying a mixture of different things to try and find something that will help with my acid reflux. And I discovered this little neat little thing, pills that you may want to try for people with acid reflux. It's called Beano, right there. And you take 2 of these each time, and it on each meal. But what I've been doing is I've been just taking one in the morning, tried it for a day, felt a little better. Then I took 2 more, tried the next day, feel a lot better. Then I went to the third time, and I felt there is a big improvement. Like I don't hear the gas like gurgling. I it kind of alleviates some of it. I find it gets rid of some of the gas buildup. I was taking charcoal pills. That does help. It does help a little bit, but I think the Beano with the mixture of charcoal and like a bioproactive, I find it's been making a difference. Everyone's stomach is different. These may not work for you. You may have to just keep trying. I know Gravol helps me as well, which is an excellent one that you can buy. Like in another tip, when you're buying this is kind of on another video here, but like when you buy like ginger, you're worried about like Gravol about falling asleep. You just buy Gravol with ginger in it, and it does not make you drowsy at all. Now you can buy the Gravol 2 as well. That is drowsy, which is different than the regular Gravol. So just a little tip for you. If you know, I'll do another video on Gravol as well. But from right now, I feel like there's a difference with it. I'll have to like try it out for a month or so just to feel it out and see where I'm at within a month. So I'll probably be back with another video in the future and just give you a rough idea how I'm getting along with those pills. Now I do find they're kind of a little bit on the small side. There is some pills that I don't like taking because it seems like they're hard to swallow. I know every so often I'll get some digestive enzyme pills, and I find the digestive enzymes are hard to swallow because I find they break down too quick. I think the manufacturer should probably gel coat their pills so it's easier to swallow so it doesn't dissolve in your mouth right away. It dissolves way too quickly. So that's another thing you gotta be concerned about when you're buying pills too. I find a lot of the coated pills are a lot better because then you're not agitating your stomach as much. I find a gel coated pill is way better, even if it's just a coated one as well. I find there's a difference. It just releases a little slower, and there's just less chance you're going to get some kind of side effect from it. So basically, I've been just trying things out and just see where where I end up at. Like they say, if for everyone it's a little different. You may have to take, I don't know, Eno. You may have to take, um, um, what was the other one? Malox or Pepto Bismol, ginger, Gravol, charcoal. Um, there's other things like acid reflux liquid that you buy. It's 5 milligrams. You have to get a prescription for it. That's one of them as well. So basically, for so far, but I've been like kind of tricked before too. Like I've took them for a little while, felt good, and then it seems like my body just adjusted to it. It seems like when you have like a real bad gas all the time, it seems like you have to be switching over different like over the counter drugs to help you, and it goes same like for the prescription drugs. I find like your body will start getting used to them as well, and then I find it doesn't do as effective as it was doing before. So that's just something to think of. Now the Beano pills, they do taste fine. I don't didn't like taste gross. I know those digestive enzymes are sure gross, You got to be careful which ones you pick on that one. I wouldn't suggest the cheap ones. And the other thing with the Beano, you have to take 2 a day, and you cannot take more than 10 of those per day. So, you just got to be careful and make sure you don't exceed over the recommended dose. So, it's another thing to think about or worry about. And they do say you have to store these in a cold environment or like a cool environment, or they will break down. I'm not sure how that's possible when they're like a compressed hard coated pill. So, but anyway, that's what they say anyway. So, but anytime you take anything like this, Beano or anything, make sure you read the labels and make sure you don't exceed. You don't want a hospital visit for no reason. Like, hospital visits are never fun. You're there for about 8 to 14 hours, so I don't think you want that to occur. So you're better off to read all bottles before you do take the medication. Now, some of those over-the-counter drugs you got to read on, because I noticed a few of them that says you cannot take them until 2 hours after you take your medication. So that's another thing you got to be concerned about. You won't be able to take these after taking your medication. You have to wait 2 hours. So you got to kind of line it up when you're going to eat, when you're going to take these. So that's one thing you got to keep into consideration. So that pill is good. You do get about 60 in a bottle. So there's 30 days in a month, and if you're taking 2 a day, you're probably going to be running into them really quick. It's probably only going to last you probably 10 or 15 days if you take them the way they're on the bottle. That's why I've been just weeding into them, so I don't take the maximum dose for the day, so to see where the sweet spot is, so that I'm not overtaking it, because then sometimes you can make the acid worse by going the opposite way, reducing the gas too much, which can cause gas pain and heartburn as well. So you gotta have like a balance. It's like a pool. You have to have your pH balanced all the time. You don't have your pH balanced all the time, the water throws off, it goes milky, and it goes green, you get bacteria build up. Same idea for your stomach. There is actually pH strips you can take to check your pH and check your acid each day to know where you're at, so you can kind of avoid certain things to eat. Now, I did use them for a while. I was just using them to try and figure out which foods were triggers, but the way my acid reflux is, there's not really any one type of food that is giving me a trigger. One day I could eat it fine, then the next day I could eat it, bothers me. I can't seem to eat the same thing 2 days in a row. I have to eat a different thing the next day, and then eat that item, the leftovers, the day after, because it seems like if I'm eating something the same every day, I'll get an attack as well. That was one thing that I found that was a problem with acid reflux. So, and then the other thing as well, basically, the only reason I'm starting to try these things, because the medication does help in certain situations, but it's not a solution. I don't want to be taking medication pills all the time. I'd rather take something over the counter that, there's less side effects and you're not going to have to worry about them down the road. So, basically, it's just like I said, you just have to keep trying things until you find what your sweet spot is. I know sometimes with an acid reflux, when I have attack, I find if I lean to this way and I lean back, I find it relieves the attack, and then I'm not dealing with it as much. Now, if I'm leaning over and I'm like down on my stomach, then I find I get an acid reflux attack. Now, if I lean to this side and grab something on the floor, it doesn't bother me. But if I lean on the other way and I grab something off the floor, then the acid reflux acts up. So it all depends on what you're doing. So like I just found that out coincidentally one night about that, and I find before I used to lay on my left, and I found they do say lay on your left, not your right. I found that laying on my left really wasn't beneficial to me. I found laying on my right helped me better more than my left. It's kind of odd because normally your stomach valve is on one side, and the stomach valve, if you lay on the other side, is on the bottom. So it seems like when I'm laying on the valve on the bottom, it seems like I'm having less attacks. But it seems like if I'm laying on the other side, where the esophagus is up, high in the stomach, then I find I'll end up waking up in the middle of the night with gas and heartburn. So I don't understand behind that why I'm doing the opposite of what they say to lay on, and I seem to be way better. So it just I don't know. Maybe it's just because there's food pushing against my flap or my esophagus, and it's alleviating from the pain. It's a possibility. That's the only thing I can think of. But from my understanding, if you're laying on that side all the time, then all those acids and liquids are laying on that side. I know it seems kind of funny that laying on your left and right would make a difference, but it does make a difference. I know I can't lay on my back. That's number one thing. You cannot do it as a reflex. Now I find sitting up is very difficult because you can't sleep. That's not an answer. Putting a a foam wedge, not an answer. Putting books on your book under your headboard and elevating your bed doesn't work for me. I've tried quite a few different things, and it's just basically finding the right balance of where you need to be with certain things. Now I find if I'm not drinking certain things like cola, sometimes I find it's odd because I find sometimes if I drink water's worse than if I drink soda. Like I can drink like soda and I don't find it bothers me as much. But I had to cut back on my soda because I have to keep an eye on my sugar. But it's the other thing is like that's the only real thing that I've found. Now the other thing I feel like wearing loose clothes is another one you may want to try. And I know that helps. And another one, I tried a hot water bottle on your stomach when you fall asleep. I find that does help sometimes. I'm probably going to go back to doing that in the future because I find sometimes it'll get rid of the gas bubbles if you experience any. So, and I don't know, it's just that's basically the way I've been. Uh, it's like I can't seem to get an acid reflux surgery. They don't want to do it. They're kind of putting it off. I'm like, well, why do you care? I'm never going to see the doctor again. If I despise you because I don't like it that you fix my esophagus, but I'm not getting acid reflux, I really don't give a care. To be totally honest with you, once you fix my stomach, I'm never going to see you again. So it's just kind of stupid. It's kind of like an excuse. It's like they just try to brush you off for so long so that they don't have to do the surgery and spend money to fix you, but they'd rather have you keeling over in like with pain that's bad, that feels like you're having a heart attack. Like I don't understand that. Like back in the 80s, back in the 90s, if you had anything stomach related, you had gallbladder. It didn't matter. It was inflamed or not. It was gone. There was no arguments. Problem solved. If you had acid reflux, they fix it. Problem solved. Now it just they don't do nothing until if you get to the point where that you start getting blood or something in your stool or in your mouth. Then they decide, oh, you need the acid reflux surgery. Then they're going to do it. Now, the other downfall of that is you gotta make sure you're coating your stomach too, because I find if you don't, they're saying that there is a good chance that you can get an abnormal um, cell growth or something in your stomach, which could turn into like a cancer related thing. So I kind of want to avoid that. So, you know, putting a coating on your stomach is probably a good thing because then you're protecting it. It's like putting a coat of paint on something. Your wood, you're just protecting the surface of the wood. So, it's not the same thing, but you get what I mean. But anyway, I was kind of long-winded on just a review of Beano, but I'll probably do another video and let you know. And I'm doing a review on the Beano. And please hit like, comment, subscribe at the bottom. I do appreciate everyone being loyal subscribers. Do tell your friends, get them to subscribe. And I'm trying to get to 100,000K subscribers. Please help me get there. And have yourself a good evening. And I'll be back again with some more videos in the future. Gadget signing out.